Welcome to DA Driven,
our new podcast from Depreciating Assets, where we talk about the culture behind cars, bikes, and trucks, your story, your perspective, and your relationship with all things motorsports.
We always say the cars brought us together, the people keep us together. This is our opportunity to share those stories with you and for you to share your stories with us. Follow, like, subscribe, do all the things. Appreciate you.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Gabriel Ruiz here with Depreciating Assets.
And Wilbert Gilbert, we're doing formal this time.
The third.
Wilbert
Trace.
Juan.
Oh, that's right.
Gilbert.
He's the only Juan.
The third, the only one.
I'm here all week before the tip of waitress.
Or Gabe.
Real.
Gabriel, excuse me. And more importantly, we're here with Nick Laswell. Honored to have him here with us today. We're going to go through our standard routine over here, ask some questions, learn something about you, Nick.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming out. If you want to just introduce yourself really quick, just really quick intro. We have a couple questions for you.
I'm Nick, and I love cars. Quick enough.
Hey,
I like it.
You know what? That was efficient. I
was
like
efficient.
that.
No, so I'm from Lincoln, born and raised in Lincoln. Currently live in Eagle. We have 5 acres out there, a big old shop, and I operate a small automotive detailing business out there too.
Sweet.
And that's my full-time thing. Dipping into the real estate just a little bit, like we were talking a little bit earlier, and bought my first investment property. So
Congrats.
messing with that.
Super
Thank you.
passive. He doesn't have to do anything. He's a millionaire already. Yeah.
Yep. Working there. But yeah, I love cars. I think right now I'm at 11 cars.
Oh, can't wait to jump into this.
But that doesn't mean they're anything special. But some of them are, I think pretty cool. But other things are just like, why would you even own that? So
Sure.
yeah.
We're going to dive into all those in just a few.
Yeah.
And with that said, we always start with a very light question, or maybe not. A moment that you felt truly alive.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking about this. I mean, there's so many just moments where it's just like, okay, I'm alive. And so I decided to choose one that was kind of like, holy crap, I'm still alive.
Sure.
So I'm a big Fox body guy. I don't own any right now. I'd like to get into one again. They're too expensive anymore, it seems like. But so I had a turbo Fox body. It was actually one of the first turbo Fox bodies in the Lincoln area. This was like when I was out of high school.
Okay.
And so on a turbo car, instead of the headers going back, you had to have them go forward and have a crossover pipe, and then it'd go into your turbo. So basically, the headers were front facing, and then the crossover pipe was kind of just underneath the front of the motor. Well, and again, this was just it was kind of an old crappy Fox body. It was really fun, but it had a power steering leak, and I didn't even really, it wasn't too bad, but I didn't think about it. And that crossover pipe had heat shrink on it. Well, over time, that heat shrink got completely soaked.
It became like a gauze and just absorbed everything.
Yep. And I was out on, wherever doing a little pull in the car. And all of a sudden, the entire car just went up like a huge flame.
While you were going.
Yeah, I don't want to say necessarily,
Yeah.
but yeah, going.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And so now the oxygen is feeding the...
Yeah, so lots of heat, and then, a fluid that's obviously flammable, and then this heat wrap all on this crossover pipe.
Oh, my gosh.
And just, huge, and it kind of stayed for a minute, then it kind of died down. And luckily, I was with a buddy. We kind of rolling up on a gas station, and it was still kind of on fire. He doesn't know what to do. He just jumps out, grabs those containers or those things with the windshield washer.
Okay.
Yeah, it just takes the whole trash can thing and dumps it on the car to try and get the flames out. And it went out.
Worked.
Yeah, it worked out. It worked, and luckily, just a few little things were kind of charred, but started the car up and drove it home.
And you were able to drive it home, so you got it really quick.
Yeah. It was, super scary. And then I got a call from a buddy later, and he's like, so I was driving down the road in the opposite direction. I swear I saw your car, but then I just literally saw a huge flame. And I'm like, he's like, are you alive? Are you good? Like, was that your car? I was like, yeah, it literally started on fire. And yeah, it was just one of those moments where it's just like, this is, I'm still alive and good. This is, and it was kind of that first time where, I really had something that was quick and fat, especially at the time. I think it made like over 400 wheel, and it's just like, this is modded car life.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm sure they got the adrenaline going for sure.
Like, especially when you didn't set out to do it. You scared the crap out of you, unexpected. You're like, okay, I'm lucky to be alive.
Yep. So we nicknamed that car Fireball, and it also had an exhaust shooting out of the hood, and it shot fireballs on like D-Cell and stuff. So just kind of
In
dual
every way.
purpose name. Yeah.
I
So
love it.
her name was Fireball.
All right. All right. So something outside of cars. What's something that an interest of yours outside of cars?
Well, everyone says family, and that's obviously, family's huge. I have 3 kids, my wife, and, I love them to death, obviously.
Yeah.
They're all into the hobby. My wife loves it too. Luckily, she puts up with me. But, outside of family, which is just kind of an obvious one, I love heavy metal.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
so, yeah.
That's a first for that.
Yeah.
Do you play?
I
or
don't.
listen?
I don't
Okay.
play. I'm mostly like a calm, kind of cool guy. The way that I like get all my anger and rage is like in a mosh pit. No
Sure.
joke. Yeah. And I'm getting old, and it's harder to get in there every once in a while. But I'll still go to metal concerts and we're talking stuff that most people are like, what the hell's that guy listening to?
Who's your artist of choice these days? Heavy metal, not my jam,
Yeah.
but I'm sure that there's gonna be people watching that will.
Yeah.
There's so many. I mean, if I had to pick an all-time favorite,
yes, 100%.
it'd have to be Korn.
Korn,
Everyone,
okay.
everyone knows
Korn,
Korn.
of course.
They're labeled as new metal. They're just an all-time favorite. I literally grew up listening to Korn.
Yeah.
If we're talking kind of something more recent, I really like a band called Fit for a King.
Okay.
They're actually a Christian band, but they're super heavy.
Angry Christian.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so
Awesome.
kind of my thing, but
Nick LaRue is also a big fan of heavy metal.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
There you go,
Nick
Nick.
must
I don't know if the band he's talking about. You may know it. So tell us a little bit about your background. Like, what shaped you? Where you said earlier where you're from, but what else shaped you? You think?
My dad had a lot to do with it. So he was into cars younger. He wasn't ever into cars as much as I am now, but he kind of just got me in the direction. And really, where he got me was like just the cleanliness and like keeping cars maintained. And that's my big thing. Like if I had to choose anything, over speed and noise and this and that, it'd be just a clean car. And that's obviously I got into detail.
well, I mean, it kind of tracks with your business
but
now.
The first thing, like one of the first things that I can remember is there's a little scuff, and I actually own this car still. He bought a 95 Ford Explorer. It was my first vehicle ever. And I still own it. And, this was when I was a kid. He had it and rode around in it, and he got a little scuff on the paint or whatever, and he showed me how you could take a little bit of compound and a rag and get that scuff out, and I was like,
That's magic.
yeah. As a kid, I'm just like, how'd you do that? You know what I mean? And like literally from there is just like, okay, clean cars, nice cars, like keep it, and he was just a super good example. He passed a couple of years ago, and I have 2 of his vehicles that he had and maintained, and it's cool to kind of keep those going. So
Sorry that he's no longer with us, but it sounds like he
awesome dude.
lasting stuff.
Yeah. So that's kind of, he shaped me, and then just Friends and like Fast and Furious was a big part of it.
For so many, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, too,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's just one of those movies where it's like, we're of that age where it's just like that was kind of the movie for a car person. And you keep following that, and it's just, racing.
Yeah,
this and
from what they say, the next one's actually going to go back to like racing, not
Yeah,
going to Mars.
whatever.
Yeah.
Movie time. It's like Hollywood right
So it's
now.
like so it's like Mission Impossible.
It's
crap.
definitely gotten off track, but yeah.
Well, they better have like a takeover scene. Like they have to.
Because this is the last one allegedly.
Oh, is it? Well,
Is it
really?
Fast 10 or something? Is it the 10th one? Yeah.
Oh, well.
I think they're on 10.
I don't even know what number it's
Yeah,
up
I don't know
to.
what number it's up to.
Yeah.
It's hard to follow them
Yep.
anymore.
You shared the story about the fireball story. One of the questions is your first meaningful car story, car, bike, motorsports. Like, what was it first?
Anything with a motor,
Yeah.
jet ski, quad.
First,
Yeah, meaningful one, something that sits out in your brain.
I don't know if this is. I mean, this is kind of one thing that just, again, as a kid, kind of really got me into. There's a neighbor of ours, and again, I was in grade school or whatever. He had some, I think it's a 5th gen Accord, and he just, super basic, but he like kind of slowly modified it. I kind of slowly watched him as a kid, kind of just. He'd put wheels on it, then he'd put exhaust on it, they'd tint the window, just little things.
You watch it evolve.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I watched this
that's
car
exactly
evolve,
it.
and I
That's
was just like, okay, like you can kind of take something that everyone else has, but kind of make it your own.
Yeah.
And that just, kind of shaped me a little bit. You know, obviously my dad as well, but kind of just watching that the neighbor do that. I don't think I ever really talked to him a whole lot. It was kind of just like he'd drive by and I'd see it change and this and that, and kind of watch him from afar. But that's kind of one thing. And then I remember a buddy of mine came over, and I didn't even know the term rims. You know what I mean? I probably wasn't even a term really back then. But he goes, "Look at that guy's rims on his Honda." I was like, "What's a rim?" You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's like, "It's the wheel of the car." And I was just like, "Oh yeah, I saw that he changed those out and this and that." And yeah, just weird little tiny things, and it's just slowly just, you know, you kind of become obsessed, especially as a kid, stuff like that. And
That's actually one of the questions that comes up in a bit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's definitely a big part, I think, for a lot of us, you know, car folks and the bike scene as well. Every scene, right? Taking your vehicle and making it yours.
Sure.
Right? Like customizing it to make it something that you feel comfortable in.
Yep.
It's an identity piece, which
Yep.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
First car.
First car. So I mentioned this, the 1995 Ford Explorer. That was my dad bought it new, and he gave it to me when I was like 14. And when I was 14, I started getting into stereo systems.
Okay.
That same friend that was actually talking about the rims, his brother had a stereo in his Jeep, and he picked us up once from something, and I was just amazed at like stereo could be that loud bass and this and that. So when I was 14, I put in my first stereo system in this 95 Explorer.
Which is the perfect freaking vehicle.
Yeah, all that space in the back of an Explorer, are you kidding?
Yeah, and it was just like a couple 12s or whatever. Well, that evolved really quickly. So that, again, I have that vehicle still. It was kind of my daily driver. Then I slowly kind of made it like it's super nice, and it still is. Kind of just made it like my nice cruiser vehicle, you know, with the stereo, and it just evolved. And right now it's actually the exact same as what it was in high school. It has 20-inch wheels, you know, dark tint, and 4 18s in the back of it.
18.
4
Yep.
18s.
Yep. For all the car audio guys out there, it does a 158.6 at 41 hertz. And you know, this was like years ago that I built this thing and did that. And again, it hasn't changed since. All I've done is put lithium batteries in it because it's just a newer technology. But literally, like the amplifiers and woofers and box and all that, it's all still the same. So back in the day, they did a 158.6, which is, you know, close to 160 decibels, if that, you know, puts it in any perspective for you. But very loud. And it's, like I said, the exact same as it was now. And that was like kind of my first love in the car scene was car stereos.
Sure.
Yep.
You know, it's so interesting because I think for a lot of us, right, when you're younger, you're like, you got to feel the bass bumping. Like it's got to, you got to feel, and still to this day, for me at least, you know, music means you feel it.
Yep.
And that being said, you're the first person that's been on the podcast that has spoken about that component of the car scene.
Yep.
Because that's a whole segment.
Well,
Yes,
at
and
that
no.
level.
We talked about like removable DINs.
No, but at that level, because
Yeah.
you're talking decibels,
Yep.
right? There's competitions just for that. I remember one show that we had gone to, or no, one of the shows that we had a couple years back. Was it
In phase.
In Phase came out,
Yeah.
and they brought their truck
Little
out,
van,
and this was at the Hooters show. It was so loud, I felt bad, but I was like, homeboy, I'm sorry, but can you please turn that down some? Because
That's how you know
no
you're
one
old.
at the whole, no
Yeah.
one at the whole show could. You can't hear yourself. You couldn't talk.
Yeah.
It was that loud. But that's a whole segment.
He pissed him off. He never came back.
Yeah, it's
I love you guys at
Yeah.
Phase. Yeah.
it's interesting. Like I got into all the competition, all this and that, and you know, then the scene kind of slowly died down. In my opinion, there's still people out there that do it, but you also just it is kind of more of a younger guy's sport.
It is.
And honestly, that car comes out maybe 3 times a year now. Like, you know, I'll go out, like make my ears bleed and put it back. Like that's enough for a few months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And show some buddies or whatever
Yeah.
that have never heard it, stuff like that.
For me, that's the thing. Like I want to hear. Like I already,
Yep.
I'm getting older already as
Yep.
it is. So
It is interesting when you get
eardrums,
to
bass.
Yeah. So occasionally it goes out. So
And I feel like the club scene here is a little bit different than like the New York City club scene where it's that for 6 hours when you're there, like, and you leave and your ears are ringing for 2 days. Like, it's next level, and but you know, it's a vibe. So
It's fun. Oh yeah,
it was fun.
Totally. All right. So when did it? This kind of leads into it. When did it become more than just a hobby? Was that the audio piece?
that might have been kind of right when I started to drive, you know, 15, 16 years old. I got this thing. I already had the stereo in it or whatever, and you know, I started driving. It's just like, what else can I do? You know, I love the stereo stuff, but what else can I do? Fast cars, like, you know, I grew up on like Need for Speed and you know, Gran Turismo and you know, those video games where you're just building cars. But now it's like, okay, now I can actually get something and start making my own fast car.
Yeah.
That's when I got my first Fox body. This wasn't the one that was turboed, but got my first Fox body. You know, made the mistake of tearing it all apart and never put it back together. You know, tried to. And yeah, parted it out because, you know, just a dumb kid that literally my dad's like, you're not doing this here. Bought a storage unit, couldn't even, you know, get it all back together in a storage unit. And, you know, then slowly just started, you know, bought another Fox body, get, you know, put the turbo kit on it or whatever. And then just kind of slowly evolved into just buying, you know, more cars, you know, for fast, or maybe even just cars for, you know, you know, plenty more cars where I put stereos in them and, you know, bought and sold stuff like that. And then
a mild obsession.
Yeah, literally. And you know, it just kind of turned into a point where it's just like, I just like anything cars, especially clean ones, you know, clean examples. But even just, you know, every once in a while I buy beaters too, and just go out and, you know, in the wintertime and do cookies in the snow, just literally anything car related. And I have a couple of buddies that have been with me from the beginning that, you know, are still the same way as me now, and they're just, you know, we're all kind of the same. It's just, you know, we get older and kind of have more money to do it too, so it's super nice. But
that definitely helps. Definitely helps. For either, whether it's more beaters, another sound system, or faster, whatever the thing is, or off road, right? Like and you're going pretty slow, but it's still a thing. So with all that said, you said you have 11 cars now. Think about the one that got away. It could be one that you sold. Could be one that you almost bought.
So I'm a huge, having an Explorer as my first vehicle. I'm a weird Explorer enthusiast. I have 5.
That's a thing?
Yeah, it is. Only in my world. I have 5 Explorers, mostly like the 90s Explorers. I drove my 2010 here, but that's just kind of the daily beater. The one that probably got away, so most people don't even know they made this. They made a Saleen Explorer.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yes.
That is badass.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
What motor was in it?
It's literally just the 5.0, which a lot of the Explorers came with, but some of the Saleens came factory supercharged too. But a lot of them are also just literally just the same 5-liter that's in all of them. So it's nothing, you know, unless you get the factory supercharged one, performance-wise, there's nothing crazy. But they just look wild. It's
it's all tricked out. Like, think of it like body kit. And
it's like why, and that's why I think it's cool. I think there's like 300 of them. You know,
that's awesome.
And so there's been a couple of them that I had chances to buy, and they're kind of weirdly expensive for a Ford Explorer, and it's just hard.
It's freaking rare, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of hard.
You're not the only weirdo that loves them, right? So
it's
like,
true. It's true.
You know? So like, there's a value there.
So there's been a couple of those that have gotten away, and at some point I will own one, even if they're kind of slowly going like this, just because people are starting to realize what they are. But anyway, that's probably one of the ones that got away.
That's awesome.
I mean, it seems like the C10 or K10 pickups, like and Blazers, 20 years ago, those things were cheap.
Yeah.
But it became a nostalgia thing. Now there are a lot more of those than there are of the Saleen, and it's actually pronounced Saleen.
Saleen.
Yeah. What's Saleen? Saleen.
Okay. Didn't know. Learned 2 things just now.
Yeah, a dude that I used to hang out with, he knew the daughter,
Steve Saleen,
or the
Steve,
granddaughter, whatever, and was
her name Celine?
No, but he said it, and she was like, no, and she was pissed that he mispronounced it, so he corrected me, and I will pay it forward.
All right, well, thank you.
Assuming that story is true, Dan, unless you lied to me.
So, let us know the list of the cars.
So
11.
5 Explorers. You know, early 90s Explorers. Nothing too crazy there for most people. Again, just something I love. So they're cheap too. It's like you can literally pick them up for a couple thousand for a nice one, or even a few $100 on some of them. And so all those, kind of my baby or race car, you know, the car that a lot of people know me for is my 1995 Toyota Supra. It makes about 1,100 wheel horsepower, and all my cars are white, so everything's white.
Okay.
That's kind of, I've had that car for like 10 years or so. Then I have a 2004 Mustang Cobra, the Terminator. You know, that's a pretty mild bolt-on car. It makes like 460. Then we have a Trailblazer SS, and that's kind of the wife's toy. I actually bought that for her as a daily, but me being that weird guy, like once she drove it in winter once, I was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. It's too nice, you know. So that's kind of now her toy. And that's got a big cam, exhaust with a cutout and converter, stuff like that. Just kind of a fun family cruiser. The kids love it. They call it the boo boo car because it makes that noise.
Yeah, the cam.
Yep. And then
What year was that one?
that's a 08.
Oh wait, okay.
Yeah, Trailblazer SS. Yep. I have a 2010 Acura TL SH all-wheel drive, and that one was my dad's car. About the cleanest Acura you'll ever find, but it has like 230-some thousand miles on it. But like, people that see it, I'm like, guess how many miles on it? 40,000.
Yeah.
So that's just like an example of how clean he's kept his stuff. Then wife Daly's EcoBoost Flex.
Okay.
2016 Flex. It's super fun. Like, kind of, I've been holding back on like modding that a little bit, because those EcoBoosts you can actually have quite a bit of fun with.
And then they can also go kaboom.
Yep. But, so it is for daily. So
Eco-boom.
Yeah, they go
Eco-boom.
kaboom.
Yeah, but kind of fun. Then a '97 Ranger that I use as like a farm truck, and I think that's about everything.
So a lot of Fords.
Yeah. Fords have kind of been one of those cars that I kind of grew up with, so definitely kept with that a little bit. But I'll jump, Toyota, Chevy.
Yeah, a lot of Fords, a Chevy, Toyota,
And a Supra.
Yeah, the Supra. Yep.
Yeah.
So and the Acura too. So jump around a little bit.
That's cool.
Okay.
Kind of anything and everything that is like just nice and clean and white. I tell
And
them
white.
I won't buy anything that's not white anymore.
Yeah.
So
Great car. Well, I've never owned a white car for whatever reason.
Really?
Never.
best color.
Yeah.
It's the easiest color to keep
It is.
clean.
That
It
and
absorbs
like
the dirt
silver.
really, really well.
Yeah, silver's actually
Silver's great.
Silver hides everything.
Yeah.
Scratches and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But something about there's a clean white car, dark windows. Wheels you can just kind of almost pick any
color wheel.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
black,
that is true.
chrome. Just like a nice silver. You can pick any color wheel and kind of just goes with it. So
I, for whatever reason, keep getting into black cars, and they're fantastic when they're clean.
For the 3 seconds.
Yeah, and then they're not clean after, like you said.
And we've
3 seconds.
owned so many black cars. The same thing. It's like, why did I go black again?
Yeah.
Because it looks so good when it's clean.
that's about it.
Yep.
Yeah. But like what I tell people, they're like, "Why do you own so much white? It's kind of boring." I was like, "Yeah, but it's my thing." And just owning an automotive detailing business, I get to enjoy every single color you can think of through other people's cars.
Yep.
And like honestly, white cars are kind of boring to polish and paint correct and do this and that. Like I enjoy working on colored cars more than like a white vehicle. Even I enjoy black vehicles because, like you said, they just look so good when they're done. And that's kind of where I get my enjoyment from different colors of cars is through my business. So.
And you're not wrong. Like Troy Thompson has had some really cool colored cars. He's had cool cars, but also like for me, it's way more adventurous.
Yep.
I'm saying I'm kind of boring. Like we prefer white for sure. We've gone the darker colors, but I've never had like his green on his G80.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
loud
love
for
it.
me. It's loud. Yeah.
He had like this almost like cherry apple red on his Genesis. Like that color is so awesome. I don't think I could ever own it, but I love the color. And just there are some crazy ones.
Yeah.
So what about motorsports? Do you think gives you personality?
I think it's just a way that I can kind of. I definitely don't have like OCD or anything, but it's just a way I can kind of just.
You, sir, are an automotive detailer.
Yeah.
You can't even get away with saying
I don't-
That's not gonna.
But I don't want to even say it because I know that's like actually a thing where it's like people struggle with, and I don't actually struggle with anything like that. I mean, my
It
wife
makes you
might.
money. That's fine. Don't worry.
My
Own
wife
it.
might say otherwise, but like,
Yep.
it's just a way that I can express who I am through just the vehicle I drive and how I maintain it, and and I don't ever really sell anything that I actually buy to keep. Like I'll flip cars every once in a while,
Sure.
but usually if it's a car that I'm buying, like I keep, and it's just a way of showing people like this is who I am. This is also who I am. There's a lot of varieties of who I am, but what all really comes together with all of my vehicles is like I enjoy maintaining, keeping them nice. I use them too. It's not like they just sit. I mean, they don't get driven in the winter and stuff, but I use the vehicles too, and it's just kind of a way to say, here I am. Maybe today I'm this. Maybe today I'm this, and just kind of a variety.
It's an extension of yourself and how you project yourself out to the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I don't know. That's just who I am. Yeah.
Well, on that same note, right? But we pick cars because it is an extension of who we are, and then we make them look even more. We customize them to make them more what we feel
Sure.
is right. What is something that you've learned about yourself through driving?
That you can have almost any problem in the world, and once you just go out and drive, or sometimes I just sit in the dang garage and stare at them. You can just everything can just disappear.
Yeah,
At least
so
for
true.
for a little bit of time. Like we've been through a lot of just crazy things, and through our life, and it's just sometimes my wife knows it. If I'm not in the house, he's out in the garage. Just you sometimes have to just kind of appreciate what these things are. And it sounds weird to most people that aren't into
Yeah,
cars.
they don't get it.
Yeah,
It's therapeutic.
Yeah, it really is. It is therapy for me, and I don't know really what I would do without it. I got a couple other things, like the heavy metal and this and that.
Oh,
but
we're gonna get into that too.
yeah, so
what would you do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough, but
And it's just thinking about this, right? The car, your car. When you get in a car, it's your environment at the time,
Yeah.
and especially if you have different cars, right? You get in one car and your environment is one way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, like on the way over here today, it's beautiful out today. The weather was great. It is great. It's a little bit humid, but windows down, driving through the highway, and it's just like, and it's been a great day for me.
Yeah.
And just the same,
What'd you
that
drive?
drive, I did Lucid.
Okay. Well, I asked that because we were talking the other day, and you were saying how he also has an A5,
Okay.
which is 2.0 manual.
Yeah.
Not very fast,
Not fast at all,
but
fun.
But it gives a different sensation. So like going back to that's why I asked what you drove, because when you're ripping through the gears, even though compared to the Lucid, I'm sure it is super slow.
Oh,
So Lucid's
I
not that.
don't get on that at
But-
all. Like
but-
there's no comparison. I'm just
But
saying.
the sensation is like
The shifting,
gears
the
or
shifting.
just yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I totally get that. Just every vehicle, even out of my 5 Explorers, they all like.
Check a different box.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them's lifted and one of them just old and clean and completely stock and kind of nostalgic. One of them has the stereo and it's just even the exact same vehicle but done several different ways.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
just mean so many different things. And then you hop over and you have a 1100 horsepower Super right there. It's like complete opposite of a 94 Explorer.
But
It's like
it's got a different purpose, right?
Exactly,
So like
yeah.
depending on what you're doing or what's on the agenda today, it's like
Literally.
I'm taking her out today.
Yeah, literally.
I'm taking that one. out
On
today.
that note, 2 different scenarios. Which car are you driving? Really bad, tough day, emotionally draining.
Okay.
You need to get out and drive. Which one are you taking out?
Tough day. I definitely don't want to hop in the Super because things break. It could just get worse. Honestly, on a day like that, either the TL or probably the Cobra. Both of those are just like nice. Cobra's a little bit more powerful, obviously, but roan gears. You can turn the AC on if you need to. The TL is actually a lot better of a handling car. They came with that 3.7, 300 horsepower, and it's got a couple little things done to it. So they're not, anything super crazy, but just fun to kind of punch around corners and stuff. So either one of those where you just go to drive, nothing's gonna break
Because it's
necessarily.
inaccurate. Just change the oil. That's all you gotta do on those
literally,
things.
yeah. Nothing's gonna really break, but you just kind of go drive and maybe get a little, here and there just to
Something.
kind of
Yeah.
get your mind clear, and that'd probably be, yeah.
All right, fantastic day. It's 80 degrees out. After work, sunset. Sun's about to go down. What are you driving?
That's probably a good time for the Supra.
Supra.
Yeah, just everything's good. It could go bad if I take that dang thing out, but make a couple little hits and it just
Smiles.
puts. I tell everybody every time, like, okay, if I'm gonna take you for a ride, just know I might. I've had this thing for 10 years, but I still giggle every time after I hit it, and it's just
That's fantastic.
if I'm having a good day and just want to kind of end it on a good note, sometimes I'll take that thing out, give her a little rip, and have a little laugh and go home.
That was my day yesterday. We rocked, and then I brought a buddy for a ride. He'd never been in the car, and he's like, "Dude, this thing's kind of stupid." I'm like, "I know." I just giggle.
Not
Yeah.
kinda.
Yeah. Ripping it, like even though it's all-wheel drive, it still gets a little mad, and like wants to tear it. He's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "I know, it's so much fun."
Isn't it funny how we're just like these grown adults and we're like, let's go and like
Children,
Yeah,
Big toys,
Yeah.
bigger toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're giggling. Yeah.
So, favorite DA event?
Roll race stuff definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's really. I've been to a couple of the car shows, but mostly I try to make all the roll race
Yeah.
stuff because that's just a way for me to use that car,
Yeah.
the Supra, and I'd bring the Cobra too every once in a while. just to use those cars and not get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because it is so easy to take a car out like that and,
Yeah, 1,100 horsepower is no joke.
Yeah,
right?
and when you have kids and family and stuff,
Yeah.
it's awesome that you guys do that, and like I almost like beg you to keep doing it because that's like my way to get out and do those things safely, and literally you go home at the end of the day of those roll race events and you're just like, I don't even have to drive this thing for another month because that was just
You got it out.
I got it all out, so
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Is there a favorite moment at a DA? What's a memorable moment at a DA event?
Something that stands out, similar to.
I mean, I've had so many good races out there. I mean, there's
Race. That was a good race.
Honestly, I think one of my favorite ones is actually last year. Chris Leha, he has the Gray Evo, and
He's also from Lincoln, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And there's a couple of the Evo guys, and they're obviously all friends. We've been kind of going back and forth. I think I get him a lot of the times. And the last year, he finally got that thing dialed in, and he pulled like crazy on me, like at the end, and pulled a shoot on me too, just because it's like,
the shoot on you.
it was one of those things where it's just like he finally just like pulled on my, which is hard to pull on a 1,100 horsepower super,
yeah.
like, especially up top. Like he was pulling on me, and I was just like, holy crap, he finally did it. And it was just like, even though I lost, finally, it's just like that was awesome to see a buddy of mine like he's being persistent. Got dialed in. He finally beat me. So this year I'm coming for him.
Chris. His car in particular, I love it. It's a gorgeous car, but I kind of low-key hate him because he has so many issues, except for when he races me. Then the shit does what it needs to do. And come on, I couldn't get just a good kill on that one, but no, it's a badass car.
Yeah, Evos are awesome, but man, sometimes it's tough to race them because they do run into a lot of boost cuts, this and that. And it's like, man, we have to race like 5 times to get a good one.
I mean, these Evos are not stock.
No, but and they're all female because they're moody. What would you say you enjoy about the community?
I mean, obviously, everyone's just kind of into the same thing, but different things. So it's kind of interesting to see the variety of people in the community. But you could go up to, anybody and have a conversation.
Even the Evo guys.
Yeah, you can even talk to the Evo guys. But yeah, even, I like just being able to take any of my vehicles to something, and there's someone there that appreciates it. You know what I mean? Some vehicles more than others, but even if I take a old Explorer to a show, and I've had people come up to me just like, I haven't seen one of these not rusted out for years and years and years.
They're going to have different memories, and you're going to get people that aren't even car people that be like, oh my goodness, my dad, my grandfather, I remember.
Even go to a car show. You just, even if you didn't bring a car that anyone's expecting, but it's like just a nice clean older version of that, then people love that.
It's a timepiece or a time capsule.
Literally. Actually, I do a cruise every year called an Underappreciated Survivors Cruise. And so we usually have 30, 40 cars come out to my property. We all kind of park on the grass, and we then, take these, 90s, early 2000s cars, sometimes 80s cars, and cruise them together. And it's just weird. It's like, I wonder what people think when we're going down the road. They're probably just like,
those are all still alive?
Am I in the 90s or whatever? So we get them together, cruise them. It's super cool to kind of do something like that.
That sounds awesome.
Dude, you gotta let us know when you do that. I'd love to just see them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so
that'd be cool.
We do that every year. It's super fun.
Cool.
I love that. Is there anything from one of the events that you think that you'd recommend be done different? Just some feedback on something to try, something that maybe didn't quite go right. I don't know. Just any feedback.
Honestly, like I said, mostly I've been to the roll race stuff. I think I've been to a couple car shows. All of it's been really great. And I want to try and make even more events outside of the roll race stuff and just kind of see what that's all about too. Take the kids and stuff. Obviously can't bring them to the roll race stuff.
You can.
Well,
them. They can't get in the car.
They'll get bored quick.
Sure.
Honestly, it all seems like it's run really, really well. Especially just there's so many different people and just the way that you guys handle things is great. Honestly, if I had to make a suggestion, I'd almost just say suggestions in putting more on your plate, but other types of events, if that makes any sense. So
what would you want to see?
So one thing I've been interested in is like a rally.
Yeah.
We keep talking about
because it seems like all these rallies are just like expensive, crazy hypercar, honestly, and they cost so much money, like I couldn't even afford to do one. But like, what about, one kind of locally where it's kind of an anybody type of thing? I think that would be cool. If
We might have something
Yeah.
cooking for
It's
that.
it's
Maybe-
also something we've been talking for about 2 years. Gil and I went down to one in Texas. Shout out to you guys if you're watching, know who you are. And we cruised from Dallas. Is it Dallas?
I think it was Dallas.
Dallas
Yeah.
to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Cruised, rallied.
It was definitely rally.
It was fun.
they look super fun. And
It was bananas.
I've been on a couple drag and drive events, not in my vehicles. I don't know. I'm still working my way up to like being able to like take my vehicles on a thing like that, because that's a lot of wear and tear on
Yeah,
a vehicle.
for sure.
But I would be super interested in a rally or something like that. But I've done a few drag and drives with a buddy, and it's just insane how fun it is to drive, you know, halfway across the country to different tracks or whatever. So the whole rally thing would be super interesting.
Yeah,
So,
we're talking about potentially doing something like some local venues, right, and go from one venue to another.
Local-esque.
yeah.
Yeah, that you actually have to drive to. You know?
Yeah, and you can almost start small, and if it's
Yeah.
popular, maybe expand. I don't know. So that's, I guess, I don't really necessarily have a suggestion for your current events because they go really well. So
No,
maybe
but part of the question is that, like, and we like the idea. We've actually gotten some other feedback on some stuff that we're like, oh, I wonder if anyone would like this thing. And so hearing the rally thing again, it's something we've been talking about for like 2 years. So just getting feedback from people on, just because we think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't mean, believe it or not, doesn't mean it's actually a good idea.
We come up with some questionable
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah,
for sure.
come on. Yeah. So no, I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you started kind of answering this question earlier. I'm like, oh no, not yet. What would you miss if cars weren't part of your life?
Yeah, that just kind of goes back to the ability to just be free and like almost turn off your brain from the world. You know, obviously there's so many avenues for that for different people, and
Sure.
like I said, I have a couple myself, but cars are the main thing. And if I didn't have that, I don't even know if I'd be able to cope with certain things of life,
Sure.
if that makes sense. So I guess I just miss the ability to kind of just relax, go to therapy in a way.
Sure.
That would probably be the biggest thing, is just
So what you're saying is you live your life a quarter mile at a time. You live 10 seconds or less, you know?
every day.
Where have I heard that before? What,
Go ahead. No, you're good.
what do you focus on right now? What's your primary focus?
Definitely the family. We have a 2-year-old girl and then 2 boys that are 6 and 8.
You're in it.
Yeah,
fun
the
times.
boys are crazy. They're gonna be insane with cars and motorcycles and 4-wheelers. But you know, just kind of focusing on them. You know, kind of starting a business and you know, working, like it was a point where I worked full time at a software development company. Then I was doing this automotive detailing on the side, and I was going to school. I went to Doane and graduated Doane. And so
And being a husband. And being a father.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was literally just like work, school, come home, you know, work again on cars and try and make time for the family. And it really paid off to do that, because I was able to take the business full time and, you know, and make it what I need it to be. And so now it's like I can focus on that, and it's in a spot where I work my butt off, but at the same time I can take time off for the family. And like, you know, especially I work out of my property out in Eagle, so it's like I'm home, I'm there, and it's like during lunch I can go home and you know, or go inside and eat with the kids if they're home or whatever, just little things like that. So honestly, the focus right now is kind of just continuing on with the business and you know, maybe get more into real estate stuff and grow that a little bit. Like I'm a person that starts really slow and small, and I just
Study.
work my.
You want to get all the nuances and really understand what you're doing.
And work
That's
at
smart.
the speed of cash, like, you know, just don't overwhelm or you know, do anything with, you know, money or this or that, and kind of get into something that might fail and cause, you know, more damage or whatever. So, you
There's
know,
nothing wrong with being methodical.
yeah, and you obviously got to take risks, and I've done that, but yeah, like methodical is a good word. It's just kind of slow
It
and
was on my calendar this morning.
slow
Word
and
of the
steady, and you know, really kind of focusing on now family, making sure that the kids grow up how they need to, obviously in the sport, and of cars, and which they're already all, even the 2-year-old girl, we went off roading one of the Explorers the other day. She's just like fun, just
That's
bouncing
awesome.
around.
Dude, off-roading is so much fun.
Loved
so
it.
much
So,
fun. It brings me back to when I was a kid. I used to have a quad and rip through the woods.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah. So that's definitely the focus.
awesome. So rapid fire time.
Okay.
Street or track?
Street has always been my thing, but I appreciate the track a lot more, especially with
Yep.
being
It
older
changes.
family.
Yeah.
But
Fireball.
what was that? Yeah.
Fireball.
Yeah.
The Fireball story.
Kids.
Yeah, you can't beat the feeling of the street, but you just gotta, you kind of have to grow up at some
Yep.
point, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, don't do that. It sounds horrible. But yeah, streets more or tracks more responsible.
Yeah.
I get it.
Loud or fast?
I'm gonna cheat here and add one: clean, fast, loud.
Clean, fast,
So-
and then loud. Okay.
Yeah.
In that order?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if I had to choose between, I guess fast, but clean first.
Clean.
Nice, clean vehicle. It doesn't have to be loud or fast.
This man
Just clean.
practices his craft.
It's funny because when he was saying that earlier, I'm thinking to myself, I am a little neurotic. My wife would sometimes agree with that, sometimes disagree with that. But I almost wouldn't mind my car being a little dirty and faster. Like that's the priority for me. But
I have a lot of friends that are just like, they never wash their car, but it's fast as hell. I'm like, I appreciate that too, but this couldn't.
But can you take care of it?
Yeah,
Can
couldn't be me. I couldn't
pride
do
of
that.
ownership is a thing. Like take care of
we
it.
might have to add clean to that.
Maybe we'll
Clean,
see.
loud, or fast.
Build or buy.
I used to be a build guy, but as I'm getting older,
Mm-hmm.
buying's nice too.
Time.
Yeah, I bought the Supra, making a lot of power, and I had a lot of stuff done, but I've rebuilt pretty much everything in the 10 years that I've owned it, and I've enjoyed that process. But I don't know if I'd do all that again.
Yeah.
Sure.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting into I like older stuff, as you can probably tell, but I wouldn't mind getting into something a little bit newer and kind of seeing how that goes. I don't know, just
Try something different.
yeah. I mean, at some point, but who knows? I'll probably never do that.
Yeah. Who knows?
The idea of it's great, but I'll number it.
Yeah.
Night drives or sunrise?
Definitely night drives. Yeah, it kind of goes back to the, sometimes the street at night
I mean, that's.
can be a little fun. So
They
I
say
like
it's
that.
a safer time. I mean, yeah. Anyway, next question.
NA or forced induction?
Forced induction probably. I mean, that's a tough one too. I mean, I love a good. I really love like Ferraris and just anything like that just has that, like a Murcielago or something. Like those are like, oh yeah,
That's
bucket
music to your
list.
ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't beat something like that in A, but I guess personal preference, obviously with the Supra and the Cobra.
There's something to be said for some people do say that when they go NA. Well, I love the noises. I'm like, but superchargers and turbos make really freaking cool noises too.
It's another noise.
Yeah.
I love the noise like the Supra makes. Motor and turbo,
Yep.
like just everything.
Blow off, all the things.
Yeah, and the Cobra with the whine and the exhaust. Yeah, like when a Cobra goes by, you hear whine from the front, exhaust from the back. It's like there's two different things going on
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
cool to have
And
it forced
it's
induction.
all good. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Or the electrics with the.
All right, so the next question.
I think I might know the answer. Gas, diesel, electric, hybrid.
Definitely gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Windows up or down?
Windows down.
Okay.
All right. Well, to wrap it up a little bit, what's some advice that you would give to someone that is either new to the car scene or just something that you've learned with the car scene that you would like to share?
Yeah. Honestly, probably one of the biggest things is don't be afraid to approach somebody, with a vehicle that you like or, want to know more about, but approach them respectfully. That's a big thing that I can kind of differentiate between people that kind of come up to me and they're, oh, cool car, man. It's kind of, they're not maybe super respectful and kind of maybe, but I really enjoy the person that comes up and is just, hey, like, this is a beautiful car. Just, I guess that's my advice is be respectful because I'm actually, believe it or not, kind of just one of those guys that likes to keep to myself for the most part. And so when people are kind of just, maybe being a little wild or this or that, with the Supra is like, it happens a lot where you just get all these.
It's an
It's an iconic car.
Yes.
And it's 1,100 horsepower, so it's a
and I
rowdy, iconic car.
appreciate everyone that loves it or whatever, but it's almost like, and again, me kind of going back to make sure everything's nice and nothing happens. Like, I just really appreciate the person that comes up to me very softly and appreciates the vehicle versus a rolling down the window, like, oh, it's a Supra, you know. I don't know. I kind of appreciate and usually you tend to kind of make, you know, friends or you know, kind of maybe motivate a kid, you know, that comes up to you a little bit, you know, more methodical and you know, hey, would you like to check it out and sit in it or this or that, or hey, I'll take you for a quick ride. It tends to go a little bit better, have a better experience when you kind of come up to somebody. And honestly, I was that kid at one point. It's kind of intimidating to like maybe go up to a guy that owns a Ferrari or whatever, and you know, so I've always approached people like that, just like, I just, you know, want to tell you that your car is beautiful and I love, you know, this and that, and it usually tends to go really well when you kind of go that route. Most car guys appreciate that, and I mean, I'll talk about my cars all day. Most car guys will talk about their cars all day. So, I think that'd be probably a bit of advice.
You can never go wrong being respectful.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I get it, because sometimes I can have big energy and people are like, jerk. It can be overwhelming. I get it, especially if you're a more reserved person. It's like, just tone it down a little bit. Switch your decaf, bro. Where can people find you online?
Facebook or Instagram, Nick Laswell, or my Instagram's in Laswell with a Z instead of a S.
And your detailing company?
Yeah, NL Detail. Okay. Facebook or Instagram again. So
cool.
Yeah, just a small one-man show. I literally just love clean cars, love cleaning cars. I literally never get bored of it. My wife's like, "What do you?" I'll literally clean someone's car, and then that night I'll clean my car. It's like, she's like, just come inside and do something else for a little bit. But yeah, just a small, super, you know, simple operation, but I love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. Appreciate you having you on. Appreciate you, and we always like to touch on that a little bit, because you may have someone else that's not OCD but methodical, and may want to connect with you on that front, or anything else you talked about, whether it's the older Explorers or the Acura. I mean, who knows, right? We touch on a lot of stuff, right? So you have people that connect on different levels, and so we like to be able to give that and bridge that gap of like, oh, that dude is cool. I love his story. I can relate with that, or I can relate with, hey, maybe a bit more soft, you know, whatever it was, right? We touched on a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, appreciate having you on. Appreciate the time. Great conversation.
Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. It's an excellent story. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Follow, like, and subscribe.
Thank you.
Take one. We only actually do one take. We just have fun with that.
Actually, but
the goal is to just do one take.
They should leave it in the scene.
Yes. That way, when he goes pick up his water, it falls and makes a bunch of noise. Or?
No, just like
over there.
prop. But it's broken here. Hold on. This needs some glue.
Just because Vlad water probably came from China.
Whenever you're ready.
Where's that noise?
Sounds like somebody.
Outside. Okay, it's fine. All right.
Yeah.
It's either our voices in my head. Either.
I mean,
they're in my head too.
Okay.
So. Both are fine. Both scenarios. You know, no judgment.
Oh, that's right. I started because you're in.
Yes,
my
sir.
bad. I was waiting for you this whole time. I'm like, why is he starting?